this podcast, we're going to be talking a little about saving money at university, some tips and tricks and stuff like that.
I'm Jane. I'm a third-year journalism student, and I'm a student ambassador.
Nice.
I am Mustafa, and I'm a master's student doing my master's in tourism and events, and I'm a student ambassador as well.
Nice.
I'm George. I'm a final year student in computer science. I've been the president of activities last year. I'm currently the president of the Scuba club and a student ambassador as well.
Nice. So we got 3 student ambassadors. Brilliant. Take me back to when you first started at uni. How did you adapt to like saving and budgeting and like finding it all like? I'm assuming everyone's the same. Like when I was a student here as well, you're thrown into the deep end. Like how did you find it when you first came?
It was bad, honestly. Like trying to sort out money when you're like 18, it can be hard. Like in the first place, because you're like, oh yeah, I want this and I want that and I want to go out and like spend money. And then I think it's after a month or 2 you realize you're like out of money.
I know, yeah.
Then what you do?
I remember my parents gave me like 150 a month. No, actually, it was 100. And I had to budget everything, groceries, and then the things I need for like my room, because obviously I'm not like...
You never want to do stuff you want. That's stuff you need.
Exactly. And then I couldn't buy everything. So like grocery-wise, I had to go to Aldi and got like the cheapest options. It's like, if you want Nutella, you can't get Nutella. You have to get like the chocolate spread. The chocolate spread, right? I think it was after I got like a proper like steady job, then I can start like saving money, and then this money is for spending, this money is for keeping. That's how.
Yeah, would it be the same for you?
Yeah, no, so for me, before I came to uni, I decided I'm going to budget myself. So when I came here, at first it was hard. So obviously we start with freshers, and then 2 weeks in I realized, okay, I'm almost half my amount is over. So then I started panicking a bit, and then I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a monthly sheet where I'm gonna be like, okay, this is what rent goes for, this is what food expenses, and that's the way I started budgeting. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to.
So you just kind of gotta get a piece of paper and just kind of do it yourself.
More like in my mind.
Oh,
that's not gonna work.
That's tough.
On my mind, plus I had an email sheet, like one particular sheet, because I knew what my monthly expense was. Okay. But yeah, it was hard at first.
Does anyone here use like apps to kind of have like, I use Revolut. I know it's kind of similar with Monzo.
Yeah, because it shows you like a breakdown of what you're spending on. Then you realize you spend about £400 in takeaways. And you're like, I need to stop doing that.
All actually does.
Yeah, I have this app called Wise. It works like Monzo and Revolut. And then every month I would just go and see. So the first like few months was like average 300.
Yeah.
And then slowly 400, 500, 600. I'm like, excuse me, can you stop spending money?
You're trying to figure out where it's all coming from.
But I think these apps are like good to use because they let you like budget.
It stops you from spending too much.
You can send limits in the card, so it's like good to have apps like Revolut.
What I did was I made 2 bank accounts. So one was like a savings account.
Nice.
And then all my money would be in the savings, and whenever I want to spend, I would instantly transfer. Because I think honestly that's one of the biggest ways I've saved money, because if it's in one account, you keep swiping and then you check your account and you're like, okay, I have £200.
Yeah.
But then when you check it, you're like, why is there only £10 now?
Because it's like Apple Pay as well. That's like Monopoly money.
You know what I do? You know what I do? I get an account in Santander, because Santander cards you can't tap with your like Apple Pay or Samsung Pay.
Okay.
So you only can put in the card and put on your PIN. And I can't be that bothered to like remember. I don't even know my own PIN number. I have to go to the app every time.
I mean, to be fair, that's a lot of students. You have so many passcodes and everything. Who's going to remember the PIN number for your bank card?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then so that money is like savings. I just don't touch it because I can't be bothered to put in the PIN. So I just don't spend. That's my
so like
tricks.
So like those are your like tips, and like those would be like your hacks, kind of like have like 2 separate accounts. I mean, like on Revolut I have the vaults. That's what I do.
You lock your money.
Lock the money. I mean, I just like I put it there in like a savings account or like personal or rent. Rent's obviously really important. But like stuff that you want to spend, you're kind of like, okay, let's just like put it there. But the worst part is like for me when if I'm out and like I'll try and do what you do, where like you'll put money into like a separate account, like
Yeah.
my Revolut, for example,
Yeah.
and then say like you're coming low to like the Revolut, or you've like reached the end, but you're there like, oh, just one more thing. And you start using the big account, you're there like, oh, this is trouble.
But at least, you know, I think it gives you that reality check when you open your savings account at the time to transfer that, okay, I've spent £60 so far and I'm putting another £10 there, that's
No
70. No more,
No
I
more.
can't spend any more. So you, that way you have that reality check, okay, this is what my budget is, this is how much money I have. You know,
I'd
I
say
have
as
to
well,
spend
like
wisely.
having my top 3 hacks will be the 50, 30, 20 rule. I mean, you can see it
Oh,
everywhere.
what's that? Actually,
So
I
that
don't
it's
know.
50% it's your needs. So, you know, like
Okay.
bills, rent, anything that, you know, you need to have
Food.
to survive, food,
Yeah.
yeah. And then the 30% will be wants. So stuff that you want to buy. It's not necessary, but, you know, you want to go out, you want to get new clothes.
treat
you want to
yourself.
go
You
to
want
a
to live
trip.
life.
Yeah, you want to live
You
life.
don't want to be locked in
Have a
your room.
social life.
Have a social life,
Talk
yeah.
to people.
A uni
live
life.
in uni, yeah. And then the 20% is like savings. So
Savings,
like
yeah.
always save something, save money. It's not an advertisement, but Barclays have the Rainy Saver, which gives you like 5%
I
every
couldn't
month.
get a Barclays account, so I have no idea.
It's different, like obviously, like it's different
It's
for like
so
home
sad.
and international
Yeah.
students,
I
because
know.
we are all
When we
international
first
students.
came, I was like, you can get a Barclays account, and I spent a month, and they're like, no, international students can't get a Barclays account, and I'm like, excuse me.
You can get a Barclays account, but I personally use Lloyds and HSBC. So it's just smooth.
I don't use both of those
Yeah.
anymore.
Anyway, but it gives you like that 5%
Yeah,
if you start
yeah.
saving money. So 5, 30, 20%.
I think that's
rule,
good, yeah, might-
It's a good idea, though.
Really good trick.
Because you go traveling a lot, so like.
Oh
do you
yeah,
have-
well, I'm like away like literally like every
Saves
month,
a lot,
so I'm
so-
trying to save
Yeah.
and then just put towards traveling.
Also,
instead
the
of going
points
out.
help you when you spend.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, like traveling like with like bigger airlines. Well, I'm traveling mostly with Ryanair, which is
Yeah,
like cheap.
of course.
But like if you travel with other airlines, they give you points with that you can use
Um,
towards tickets.
But yeah, like, do you think it's easy saving money? At uni, especially, like, do you think
as a
it's- do you-
university student, no,
No.
it's not easy because you have your bills first.
Yeah.
And once your bills go, you have, for example, rent, your
Rent.
mobile phone bills,
Yeah.
right? Once that go, you have your food expense. But once your food is done, then you have your
Groceries.
that's what I mean, groceries.
Yeah.
So once your groceries are done, then you have your, you know,
Like
social life.
social.
I think it's different
Yeah.
for international and home students.
Oh,
it's
Well, if
definitely
you're a
different.
home student, you don't have rent, you don't have bills, you don't have
Exactly.
like a lot of stuff that you know us international students will
Yeah.
have to
It
think.
puts like a really big burden because you need to pay rent, and especially for international students, if we don't have a guarantor, we
Yeah.
have to pay everything in full.
Yeah.
So it put a lot of pressure on like me and my parents. So now I'm like making money, earning it back to pay them back.
Yeah.
Because they paid for my bills,
Yeah.
and I need to pay them back for their vacation next year. So
Yeah.
But
it's not easy.
It can be easy also like saving money if you have
Yeah.
like if you like have habits that you're like, you know, this week I'll go out, I'll
You
spend some money.
takeaway all
Yeah.
the time as well.
Avoid like I think that's a big thing. Avoid takeaway, guys. Like avoid them. Like,
Yeah,
it's
everyone should avoid
big
takeaways.
waste. You
I
can
limit
do-
one per week.
I
like
think
that.
one per week is a
You,
good,
you
know,
can't
it's a
say
good
this,
balance.
you're never going to have it.
If you
because,
go
like,
out
yeah, of
on the
course.
student night,
Yeah.
the takeaway I think it's a must after.
See, for me, I think the biggest hack of me is don't go out at night. That's what I don't think.
Yeah.
But
Easier for some.
But the thing is, Jane, right? You wouldn't go out at night,
Yeah.
but then you'd still sometimes be at home and you know you're doing your assignment, you're
Lots of
doing something,
food.
and then you're like, okay, I'm hungry, but
Don't
I
want
don't
to
want to go and
want-
cook anything in the
I want
kitchen.
some
Can I
Macca's,
order
you know?
something? And then next thing you know, you're on Just Eat, Uber Eats,
See, that's
you name
where
it.
that's where the one takeout per week comes in.
Yeah.
So I try to cook more myself, and then one day when I'm tired with uni, I'm like, you know what? I'll get Mackey's from Uber today. Don't
Yeah.
want to cook.
But it's easier when like you know when you go to the gym when you can do like meal preps and then if you're not going to the gym anyway you can still do meal
Yeah.
preps and then you know you can have food like for, let's say for 2-3 days
yeah, yeah.
and then this
Definitely.
keeps going on and go shop get the groceries make the meal prep and then the
Yeah,
food lasts
that's
longer.
what I
you can
do.
do also you know we're not saying don't do
Yeah.
takeaways everyone will do the takeaways.
Someone was like watching this now and they were kind of like finding it also hard to maybe like cook. Would you have any kind of tips, kind of like how to
Learn how to cook before
learn
you
how
leave
to cook.
house. Like I
Learn how
love
to cook from
cooking.
mum.
Yeah.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
mum. Any other ways?
Like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There's
YouTube
like
videos.
Yeah,
YouTube
learn how to
videos.
cook because I think in
No,
the
not
long
even
run.
Books.
YouTube videos. TikTok teaches
TikTok, yeah.
everyone how to
TikTok
cook
teaches
now.
They have like this 15-second,
There's a
30-second video.
really
that's-
viral one going on now, like the roast potatoes, and
yeah.
I haven't
Ooh, I
tried
think I've
it, but
seen
I
that.
want to try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it somehow next week.
Also, I think most of the groceries when you buy from supermarkets are all like microwavable. You can put it in the oven. So
I would avoid them.
I
They
avoid
taste
them.
very bland.
no,
This is
no.
very
What I
bad.
mean to say is, you use them in and make your own. But it would be really good because I've tried that and it works.
Yeah.
But obviously, you need to play around a bit, but know how to cook.
Yeah, I think like a big hack as well is, and it's definitely a trick, is if ever you go food shopping, don't go hungry.
Yeah.
Don't go food
Oh,
shopping
yeah, that's
when
a
you're
big-
hungry.
No, I've done that
Yeah.
twice.
It's really bad.
And both times I had to call my flatmate halfway through, and I'm like, dude, I'm walking with 2 grocery bags and I'm gonna faint. Can you come get me?
Oh,
No, the problem is that you go and you buy like every shit
Yeah.
that you will find. Like it's
No, oh my God,
chocolates, it's
that's why.
biscuits,
You,
it's
all,
like
all these snacks that you
I-
all
want
the snacks.
then-
Oh, you know, I
Yeah.
want this, I want
I
veggies, and I want
literally
the yeah.
put a whole list. And when with my boyfriend, I'm like, please stop me from buying anything that is
Yeah.
not on this list.
Yeah.
And I ended up saving like £10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
I'm not even joking. There's one time I went because like for some reason I like wait ages to do a food shop, and there's one time I went and it was £117.
What did you buy?
I bought everything
Can I
clearly.
ask
I've
you?
done that. I've done
Can
that.
I-
It's,
sorry,
it's
But it's
bad.
just it's easy because like you have the trolley, you put stuff in, you're there thinking, oh yeah, that'll be
You
nice.
don't, yeah,
I'll-
you don't think
if
about
it's
it.
something small, oh the club card will help, or maybe in Aldi it's only like £1, it's only £1.79.
That's what I
all of a sudden you're there at the checkout and they say that it's
150
like
quid.
£68. You're there like that can't be right.
Have you all ever gone to a supermarket, right? And then y'all are like, okay, I have a list of things. I'm definitely going to buy this. But you come home and you realize you haven't bought half the things.
Yeah.
And you bought all the random things.
It's really bad.
I never make lists when I go to supermarkets.
Oh,
I
have
start,
to.
I start with the meat and then I go like
no,
to.
I have to.
No, I can't
have
do
to.
it.
I
yeah.
can't. I even
Nah.
write down the prices, and I'm like, this is the one you're gonna
I
buy.
can't do that.
If
I'm
it's
like,
not
oh.
260, you don't take it. Take
Yeah.
the 260.
I think that's a good tip to make sure you have a list to stick to it and make sure someone stops you from
Yeah.
going outside the list. But yeah, moving away a little bit from food, we're all international students here. So did any of you receive extra funding from the universities from like scholarships or bursaries?
Oh, I think I got 2,300 off for the first year, and then I got
Yeah.
1,000 off this year. So that kind of helped, but
Yeah.
not a lot. It's because we
Mine-
do pay more
Yeah.
than home students.
Yeah.
I had got free accommodation in my 3rd year because I came as a
You
3rd
came
year
in third
student.
year, yeah.
And I also got, I think it was £1,400 as,
Yeah,
as
that's
the
like-
scholarship.
yeah,
And for
yeah.
my
Yeah, yeah,
master's, it was 1,600.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
got pretty good.
Do you also get the 20% off? 'Cause
Yeah, yeah.
you're-
That's with the
Ooh.
20%.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good deal, I think.
It is.
But the university has also like other scholarships.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like you said
Bursaries available.
Santander earlier. I know there's the Santander scholarships and like there's the
Oh yeah, I
The
applied for
Dosh
some of
developed
them.
the profit.
Dosh,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
there's
like,
like
so many of them,
there's
and it's
loads,
course
yeah.
specific as well.
yeah, exactly. So there's always stuff there, but
They're always giving out like £500.
yeah, you always see the
Like,
TV.
Yeah.
750.
Yeah, £1,000 for
2,500.
groceries.
They also do the
Silver
study
fund.
plus actually.
Study plus.
Study plus.
Oh, yeah.
You
Amount
can
of
get
friends-
stuff. I got
yeah.
an air fryer and
Did you get
like
study
and a
plus?
Hoover. Yeah, I got it.
How did you
in
get
the-
study?
I actually got it.
Air
Yeah.
fryer.
I got
can't
it
get
every
study
year.
plus.
I got like 100 quid this year, 150 for the first year, and
You're
100 on
lucky.
the second year.
I
So I
only
got an
got
air
20
fryer
pounds.
and a Hoover.
I would have loved an air fryer.
I only got £20
I need
last
an
year.
air fryer.
But you all have study plus.
I had it, yeah, this year.
I can't. Maybe I could get it. I just
You
didn't
missed
try.
it.
No, they
We
put
had
it into your
20.
account and you get an email with
Oh, yeah,
a
then, yeah,
login
maybe I
and a
should have done.
password.
But like you said earlier, there, like so like, obviously Study Plus is really good for getting stuff for students, and then you just said there earlier you had like some like was it 20% for off or something, but
So if you're an undergrad student
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
you
So
become
if
a
you're
postdoc-
alumni,
yeah,
basically.
alumni,
Alumni
okay.
scholarship.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to like I mean everyone here I'm assuming uses stuff like uni days and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
uni days.
How do you guys use uni
student,
days, like-
student beans, all of it.
Student beans, that's really
Student
good.
Student
beans.
beans, uni
Every time
days, like-
I want to pay, I check the app first. If
there's
there's
a
a
discount.
discount.
Yeah, it's
I
You
always
need a
search on Google
discount.
as well. Like
that does
and-
help.
What helps is like if shops, like go to a shop like River Island, and they automatically ask, do you have a student card? And then they
Yeah.
give you 20% off.
Yeah.
Boots also like you can take an advantage card and give you like
Yeah.
I think 10%
Boots,
off. There's like so many
Superdrug.
student discounts.
Normally, I just wear my student card around my neck when I go shopping because then I'm
But
like,
not-
okay, they'll give me student
But
discount.
not everyone asks. Like,
No,
Yeah.
you need to ask. That's the thing.
you
I
could
think a
be
lot of-
wearing it and then they just like completely give you the full price. And I'm like,
A lot of people might feel embarrassed asking like for student discounts
Yeah.
because you might feel like cheap, but
No.
asking for it a lot of
If you
of
can
times
save a penny,
Yeah.
save it.
Yeah.
a lot of times the restaurants or the shops they don't advertise it, but there is a student discount. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
you know just ask for it. You don't have anything to lose.
Exactly.
Oh,
like,
one
and even if-
tip is join a club, join a society, because some societies they give 10% off
Oh, really?
on like shops. We collaborate with shops around Sunderland and Newcastle, and they give like 10%
Yeah.
off.
For what? For like any club or any society?
No, it's not any club, but like
Specific- Islamic
specific.
Society
Islamic
did it,
Society has
yeah.
a lot. Malaysia Society has quite a few. We have like some with shops as well, and then I think that's the only two that I remember. But there are some societies that like
You get
here's
10,
10% off for doner kebab or like 10%
Yeah.
off for
Nice.
pizza uno.
Really?
Yeah.
So
So
like,
your
join like
takeaways-
societies, like
Yeah.
it's really cheap. Like it's I think £5 or
You pay-
£10 for the whole
no,
year,
3.
or 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
like depends. Yeah, the
You
society.
save how much, you know?
You save a lot of money on your takeaways,
Yeah.
which is mind you a bad addiction to have as a uni
It
student.
is.
Yeah. But has anyone here got a part-time job? But I know we all said that you're student
I have
ambassador.
a part-time job.
Was anyone have you got like a part-time job
Yeah.
as not student ambassador?
No, yeah. So I work in the kitchen in a pub.
And like,
free food.
Yeah.
student
Alongside student ambassador.
alongside
uni.
library staff.
Oh my god.
So technically 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the worst as well. Like that. Like it's.
So I need to like and I only get a 20-hour limit per week because I'm like have the tier 4 student visa.
Yeah.
So every week I have to sit down, plan my like hours.
Do you
'Cause
find
I
that
can't-
helps?
It does help. So now my tip. So I used to put my pub earnings in my savings.
Okay.
And then because now I need to save up for more, I need to save up for, to pay my parents back, for graduate visa, for a new place to stay next year. Even my student ambassador earnings go into that saving account. So I do what Mustafa does. So like if I need money, I take it out. If I
yeah.
don't need money, then I put it back. Don't
Yeah.
touch it.
Yeah, I think that's the best way because
Yeah, looks like
honestly, I'm using this trick for a year now, and it
Does it
has
help?
saved me a lot of money. I've not unnecessarily spent because the first 2 months, right, that is last year September and October when I got here, I'm
bad.
telling you,
You want everything.
one account, one card, and before even the month ends, my money is over, and I'm like, okay, do I call my mom and ask her to transfer me more?
I feel
But I
guilty when I ask my mom, like,
Yeah.
Mom, can you send me like £100?
I hate
I'm
that.
sorry.
I think having a part-time job whilst you are at the uni is like really good. It helps
Yeah.
you like see how money works and like
Yeah.
learn
Yeah.
how to spend and like save your money. So definitely like I work a lot of hours in the Gateway like as a student ambassador.
Yeah.
And then I do also accommodations. I work in the student accommodations, like in the evenings. So like this helps you like earn like a bit extra money.
Extra
Yeah.
money.
Yeah,
helps,
it's extra money, yeah,
anything
yeah.
helps really.
It's not only the extra money; it's also the skills you learn along the way.
Yeah.
So I think you learn a lot, and you also get into that. Okay, I'm not only in uni like to have the fun and everything, but I'm getting real life skills as
Yeah.
well.
So with the student ambassador roles, now this is even for people who will be watching. This is actually for me. I have no idea how they work and like what they do, but I do know that like they're really good for flexibility.
Yeah,
They're
so
very flexible.
I've been an ambassador now for what, 4 years?
4 years?
Yeah,
How long have you been
2000,
here?
2019.
Oh
when I
my
joined, and then I
God.
joined
Back
immediately.
in
I
You
don't
were
Yeah.
here in the pandemic.
I've been through the pandemic. Yeah, I was
but
coming to work in the uni and it was empty. Like I was working at
way.
the Gateway and it was like just me and like the 2 other like
Oh
people
my
and that's it.
God.
So that was an unreal
was fun,
experience.
yeah.
But when you become an ambassador, you have the flexibility to work the
To do,
hours you
yeah.
want. There is a lot of assignments. Some of them will be course specific. Some
Yeah.
of them will be general ones like open days
Yeah.
and campus tours.
I think every ambassador's favorite event to do is the open day.
Yes.
I think personally mine would be the ones with the schools.
Or destination uni.
Destination
I love,
uni,
I love
yeah,
those.
I
So
like this.
basically, a school would bring over their like kids like I think it's year 5 to year 12. Is it year 5? I think it's
Year
6
six.
to 12
yeah.
kind of thing. They will bring them to the uni depending on like what activity they're doing. So sometimes they're in study campus, sometimes they're at St. Peter's. So they would do some would do media testers, so like they would teach them how to like use a camera in like the TV studio. Some would do like business, like how to, you know, sell and buy things from other companies. And
I did one which was an engineering event,
Yeah.
which was really fun.
so the staff would teach them how to do all these things, and we would be there like
Helping and
as
guiding
like
them.
guardian and like see like, oh, do you need help? What
Just
do
kinda
we have
overseeing
here?
it all.
Yeah, and then we give them like a grand tour of like the uni, and they will be amazed at like the law court, the TV studio. Oh, that's so
The
It's just
equipment we have.
it's to get the students like the you
Yeah.
know, the young people into the mindset of what it's like being at the university.
and you need to learn how to get into their minds.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes they just like
can be hard.
you like they're like bored and like
It's more of a job where you're working with people.
But the student ambassadors, like how did you get your roles? Like, is it tough to be a student ambassador?
for him.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like,
like-
he's the OG ambassador.
Yeah, so you went through some tests, but you were saying that it's tougher now. Why do you think it's tougher
Because I think they
it's more
like-
course specific.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
more
a lot
course,
of
so,
students
like-
apply and
Yeah.
they select basically one or two depending on
Yeah.
what the course is and how big the course is.
Yeah, so like if you go to a medical and ask like how many ambassadors, they probably have like 10
There's
to
quite a
like
few of them there
20.
'cause it's a big
But
course.
if you go to like say business, law, journalism, media, there's
Tourism.
only like tourism one.
Yeah.
My friends wanted to apply for the film one. Didn't accept any because they already have one ambassador in
Yeah.
film and they don't want any more.
For computing as well, like we only have
Yeah.
2. I was the one like for 2 years. It was only
Yeah.
me, and then we obviously got one
Yeah.
more.
Crazy.
So it's more like a competitive, and I'm just lucky because
Yeah.
my course stretches to journalism, sports, and fashion. So we're
Yeah.
allowed to have 3 ambassadors in the 3 different like courses. But if you don't have an ambassador in sports or fashion, I'm the old.
Yeah.
I have to like handle everything.
But apart from the ambassadors, there is now a new scheme that it's run by the graduate prospects
Yeah.
scheme. It's called campus opportunities, something like that along
Yeah.
these lines.
Or is it
Campus
the one?
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
Campus
similar
jobs.
to like as an ambassador, but you work like for
Okay.
the graduate for prospects. So there is
Yeah,
opportunities.
yeah,
on
because like
campus.
if someone's like hearing that it's like, oh, student ambassador would be a great job to have, but then they hear that it's really tough and they might not get any roles. So like how did you get your job? Like, do you think it's easy to get part-time jobs just in
Oh no,
in
it's
most
definitely
places?
not easy to get a part-time job. It took
Yeah,
me.
it
I
is-
think
it
it
is tough.
depends.
I think like it always depends on kind of who you know and kind of like how much you want
It
this.
took me 4 months to settle on like that pub job.
Oh.
And then, it was so hard. My friends just came in September and they couldn't get any jobs. It was so hard.
Yeah.
Because my mom was like, yeah, you're going to come here, you're going to work 20 hours a week, and then you're going to earn like 800 quid a month, and you're going to pay for your own bills. And I'm like, yeah, that's not happening.
Man,
I'm 4 months behind.
How did you get through the 4 months when you were trying to look for a job?
It
like,
was, I mean,
what
the
tip would
student
you have to-
ambassador helps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was only like a few jobs because of like uni schedules and all, and then I obviously have the budget, and then have to like guiltily
The thing
beg
is
my
there's-
mom, mommy, I need money.
There's a lot of
No
full-time
money.
jobs, but part-time jobs it comes to is because international students have the 20-hour limit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Most jobs are like, oh yeah, we can be flexible, but it's got to be 22 hours or 23 hours. So that's why finding a job becomes
Oh,
difficult.
yeah, yeah.
and especially if you're on the tier 4 visa, they look at 20 hours. They're like, yeah, but we want our
That
staff
doesn't
to
do
be
that much.
more
It's
than
mostly
20.
the full-time jobs that they are
Yeah,
available.
yeah.
I'm just lucky that like the
Yeah.
contract was 10 hours, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
want that.
Apply for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like, yeah, I mean, it is definitely tough, but like a student ambassador, but that's pretty cool with the campus jobs. That's a really good
That's a new
people
thing.
to
Yeah,
do.
That's
they're
a new
doing,
thing, I think.
So
Yeah, they
it's
just
more
introduced it.
flexible
Yeah.
and it requires less hours.
But yeah, I mean, so just like kind of wrapping it up now, we've talked about budgeting with food, budgeting when just trying to save, and then also like getting jobs and stuff. But another big one is transport, getting to and from places. How do you find that? How do you find?
I used to live in
budgeting that?
Clanny.
Yeah, it's
So uni bus was free. Now I live in the Forge. Uni bus is still free. free.
Yeah, well,
So
it can be
I
hard. To,
Yeah,
like,
I
to
think
do that.
the uni bus only has like the certain stops.
Yeah, but it covers like most of the stops we need to go, like Park Lane.
Yeah.
And like, both of the campuses, and then City, and then like Clenny. Like, it covers most of the places we want to go.
Yeah.
But like, if you take the minibus, then it's like campus accommodation. I mean, you need to do a little bit of walking, but
Yeah.
But
I
with
need
the
to be
bus
grateful.
strike,
I mean,
the
yeah,
metro
some of
is
it's not
free.
massive.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
it's
it
not.
is free.
it's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
about
the
The
bus.
bus
metro is
strike, the
free.
metro is free from Millfield to St. Peter's. So you're actually, you can travel anytime on the metro. So, and it's Monday to Sunday, unlike the bus, which was only Monday to Friday or
No, it's
Yeah.
Monday to Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, sorry.
But the minibus is Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is like the 700 lines that are free. There is the minibus
Oh,
that
yeah,
can
yeah.
get you like around
Yeah.
the accommodation and the university. Like I used the minibus a lot before. Now I got a car now because I couldn't.
I would love a car,
Yeah,
but it's
right
just too
now.
expensive.
Yeah,
I
it
want a
is,
car
it's
too.
I
really
need to learn how to
expensive.
drive.
Oh, I need to re-get my license here. So
Yeah.
that's,
I don't know.
that's
I have
another
my
day.
license, but I haven't been able to get a car to drive with.
It is expensive. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
do you
I
know what I
had
mean?
to save a lot.
But yeah, so like just kind of like finally, can you all just give like each one like tip that you give to the first years that are coming? Maybe like no, we'll give two tips: a generic tip, and then also a tip specifically for international students that like you would tell yourself in first year. So like first of all, George, like what would be like a generic tip you'd give to someone for like trying to like save money?
Put money like always like in a savings account that like gives you like a bit of interest. Like
Lock it away.
Yeah, it sounds like even if you look it away, it gives you
Yeah.
like higher interest. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds very hard to do.
Yeah, easier said than
Easier
done.
said than done.
Of course.
But if you do that, if you follow the 50, 30, 20 rule, you will see like a big difference. Like you'll have money on the side, and then when you want to do something, you'll be like, oh, well, I have money on the side,
Yeah.
I can do it. And then the more
What would be something you tell yourself? So if you when you came over and like something that like if you can think back to when you came to Sunderland and maybe you had all these like ideas or like these assumptions of like how it's going to go, and then it was different. Like what would you tell yourself to kind of be prepared for?
I think I knew how to cook, but I didn't expect like that I'm gonna have so many options at the supermarket when I'm gonna be like what, I can go to Aldi or I can go to Lidl, I can go to Tesco's. I didn't know that there's like so many options.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I would say like Lidl and Aldi are
Amazing.
like the cheap. Asda are like the
I
cheapest.
think
ones.
I think my
Lidl is the best.
I think
I'll
my
say.
top three is Aldi, Lidl, and Tesco. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the only three I would
Tesco's a
go.
bit
No,
bit
I feel like
expensive.
Tesco is
But it's
cheaper than
okay.
Asda.
I think
Yeah.
Morrison's
Maybe.
is
It's a
good
bit
as well.
expensive.
Yeah.
Morrison's is expensive.
Morrison's,
Yeah, Morrison's
Morrison's
is really
and
expensive.
Morrison's
Morrison's is
Asda is good as well.
Bougie.
Bougie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this
Maybe
advert.
that's why you have no money at the end of the month.
Yeah, exactly. I saw this advert. They bought the same things in 6 different supermarkets. Lidl was
The fair,
the
for me,
lowest.
Yeah.
Waitrose was the.
Waitrose, yeah. You
Yeah.
might as well just shop
Like,
there for
yeah,
a
yeah.
Morrison's.
Yeah.
I
my
mean,
God,
I mean,
Mustafa.
I mean, not everything, but some stuff,
Yeah.
Morrison's is good.
But Jane, what would you give as a tip to first years coming to save? Like
Definitely use student beans in uni days. Use it till you graduate.
Nice.
And even
every
After you
every
graduate.
shop you go, open the app and see is the shop in there, and you get like £10 off for Uber Eats as a student.
And then what would be something that you would have liked to be able to tell yourself if you can remember back to when you came over that you didn't expect and you would be able to prepare for this?
Save more money before I even
Save-
come here. That's the most important thing. My friend came with 5,000 ringgit, which is like almost £1,000, and I came with £100 because I had no money. I didn't save because my thought when I came here I was like, I'm gonna spend all the ringgits like from my own currency, then I can live a whole life. And then now I can't because like I had no money when I came. Everything was for my parents. I didn't even have my savings. So that's one tip: save whatever you come like from where you come from, and then at least when you convert it, you have the money. And if you can buy it cheaper from your country, just shove it in the luggage. Don't care.
And finally, Mustafa,
Yes.
what would be a tip you'd give to the first year on saving money?
I think obviously you can do some research because everything's available online as
Yeah.
well, so you can see the prices. from your home country before you come
Yeah.
here.
Nice,
So just go make a list, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is my rent expense, this is my groceries. If I'm going out, let's say weekly, I'm gonna spend, let's say maximum £50 if
Yeah.
I'm going out.
Weekly.
Like I'm just saying, like 20
You
to
are very
50.
bouge.
Yeah, no,
Very
I'm
bouge,
just saying,
Mustafa.
20 to 50 maximum. Like that's with transportation
Okay.
and everything included. You're like,
Fair.
okay,
And
like,
then, and then if you were to go back to talk to you just before you came over to Sunderland, what would be one piece of advice you might tell yourself that you didn't know, something to expect that you wouldn't have expected regarding money and stuff?
I think be aware that there are a lot of cashback offers and stuff,
Oh.
and make
Nice.
sure that like you're spending your money wisely, but you're also getting the maximum out of it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about cashback offers and stuff from Lloyd's Bank and stuff, and then now someone's like, "Oh wait, do you not choose the cashback option? I just get 2 free tickets for the cinema," and I'm like, "You get free tickets for cinema?"
How?
Yeah, apparently Lloyd's
Yeah.
does that. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I would say, like, do your research before you
Yeah.
come, because you have plenty of time before
Yeah.
you arrive, and you can see all the prices and compare online.
Oh, I remember
Perfect.
going up to like searching up Poundland before I came here. I was like, oh, this is cheap. £1 is like, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much, guys. You've been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.